plan, you'll know that I'm coming on live each day to show you the different dishes and beverages and snacks that you can implement during the detox program. So thanks for joining me, and I will go through each beverage, each snack, everything one by one. But as you know, day one is our foods high in glutathione. Let me just turn that down, sorry. I'm not sure why it's making... So it's high in glutathione, and those foods are actually going to support the liver for the next day, which will be when you do your liver flush. So every morning we're going to start, as I have done it again today, with the lime or lemon with water. And as I've mentioned, make sure it's tepid, room temperature. Don't want anything cold out of the fridge. You want it easy on the digestive system. And to consume your 2 litres, you want to take about 500 ml of water in the morning. And I take that first thing in the morning, which you'll be doing on an empty stomach. Have it with your supplements. If I've recommended certain supplements, take those supplements with your full glass of 500 ml of water. And if you take them in 500 ml ratios, you should be able to consume the required 2 litres for women, 3 litres for men. So after I consumed I've taken my supplements, I had a 1/4 piece of avocado, because you need to consume a 1/4 piece of avocado, just at least 2.5 grams of fat. Or you could have, if you don't feel to eat first thing when you've taken your supplements, you can have a teaspoon of pure cold press olive oil, or have a few nuts like zinc, which are Brazil nuts, which have got lots of zinc, or have 4 walnuts, which is what I had yesterday. But today I had a 1/4 piece of avocado just to consume with my D3 and magnesium, because D3 is fat soluble. Magnesium is both fat and water soluble. So just take a fat with those supplements and your glass of water. So the next thing I consumed was my Nettle Tea. And I had my Nettle Tea about half an hour after I'd taken my supplements. Now, you may have heard me talking about Nettle Tea yesterday. This is going to be my main green tea in my detox. And I've chosen nettle because nettle is full of minerals. Sometimes I make a nettle blend, and I might add cinnamon and clove, but I've taken it just on its own with the leaf, and you just steep that for 3 to 5 minutes to make your tea. And I've had 3 cups of my nettle tea today. The 4th foods that I had was my smoothie. Now this smoothie had beetroot, spinach, apple, and I added 2 tablespoons of sea moss. This is just something simple that contains the glutathione, the high glutathione foods that help support the liver prior to the liver flush. So this is day 1. And beetroot, spinach and apple are high in glutathione. Make sure you're having the green apple. So the 4th item in terms of what I had after I'd consumed my wonderful beetroot, spinach and apple smoothie with sea moss was a beautiful plate of fresh fruits. I had that probably about an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours later, because the smoothie is so rich in fibre, and you want to eat your vegetables whole or blend them whole to get the fibre in these 2 days. So day 1, which was the pre-liver cleanse. Day 2, which is today, is when you will carry out the liver cleanse in the evening. So these are the fruits that I had, and I've combined them according to the fruit combining examples that you will have received when you accessed your detox plan. So here I've got some whole strawberries, orange and kiwi, which made for a very satisfying snack. But make sure you consume all the fibre. If you're going to have any type of fruits in day 1 and 2, blend them into a smoothie form or eat your fruits. And these were absolutely delicious. So my lunch I consumed this beautiful fresh green salad, and in my salad I added some red lettuce, cherry tomatoes, thinly sliced okra, radish, some coriander leaves, some thinly sliced red onion, and I made a red cabbage slaw. Now all these recipes are going to be sent to you, which we have done for day 1 to the people who've registered for the detox, and you get the recipe board. The cabbage slaw, I made a thick and creamy mayo. It's really easy and simple to do. It takes approximately 5 minutes. It's that easy. And the ingredients are quite simple. And I chopped up some dates to put in my slaw, and it was absolutely gorgeous. I used medjool dates. You can use raisins, but dates are higher in fibre. They're good at a source of iron, and they just make a great alternative, added bit of sweet in your food. So you'll get the recipe to that quick and easy 5-minute mayo, and of course the recipe for all the salads. So Ciola's online. Hi Ciola, thank you so much for joining me, and I'm looking forward to you taking part in the detox. And I know that you'll be in a lovely location with your family, so that'll be nice if you post out just a few videos to see what you're eating, what you're up to. It was absolutely delicious, and you're gonna really enjoy these meals. The next one I had was my sorrel juice, which I had about an hour after eating. Now, it's been such a warm day. This has probably been the warmest day in London so far. So instead of having a sorrel tea, and this is actually hibiscus, you may know it as hibiscus. In the Caribbean, we call it sorrel. And I made this, again, guys, you won't believe how simple this is just to do. So I actually made this juice with the dried leaves, and I had that an hour after my meal. Now, hibiscus is very high in vitamin C. It's really good in terms of supporting our immune system. It's also an anti-inflammatory beverage, and people that I know have actually claimed that it's lowered their blood pressure, and there is some some blurb out there on the internet that talks about sorrel or hibiscus, as people mostly know it, being good for taking down blood pressure. And it's a wonderful sort of raspberry tasting juice. So that was my sorrel juice. And then at dinner, I made a huge salad using the rest of my cabbage slaw, which was absolutely divine. And I added, a mixture of things. I actually added some tarragon to this, avocado. I put in some savoury, and of course my mixed lettuce leaves. And I also drizzled it with a lemon and herb dressing you would have received in the recipe board sent to you yesterday or today. Actually, Anthony may have sent it to you, I'm not certain, but you'll get them as quickly as possible. It was today. Anthony's indicating it was today. So you're going to get them in a timely manner so you can kind of, keep along. And don't forget, you've got the recipes in the natural workshops where you can implement those recipes now to get your digestive system ready. So I'm going to give you the recipe to this wonderful big salad that I had for my dinner. It's got some additional things in than I had in my lunch salad. And I also finished that with about an hour later with my turmeric tea. So I had about 2 cups of my turmeric tea, and turmeric is high in glutathione, which is what we want for day 2, continuing from day 1 with our glutathione foods, because today is the day on day 2 that you will actually be doing your liver flush, and you have the plan, the step-by-step with the required ingredients to follow for you to do your liver flush on day 2. So that was all of the wonderful beverages and fresh, fruits, salads. You've got a lovely creamy dressing from today, today's recipe from yesterday's meal that you can actually put on your salads. It's all in the sauces and the dressings to make it more interesting for you and to get those added minerals in, and that will keep you satiated, and that will keep you from getting more excited about your fresh foods. And I'll be introducing some green sauces, some pestos to go into your dishes as I keep doing these. So come on here and have a look at the dishes that you're going to be having, because obviously it's for your benefit to see how you can use that grocery list that I've sent you. And come and tune in tomorrow, because look at day 3, guys. You've all got the plan. Tomorrow's going to be an abundance of beautiful fresh food, and you can see what's in day 3 because you've got the plan, so you know what's coming. But I'm going to present it really beautifully how I would have my foods on day 3. So thank you for listening, and if you ever have any questions, just interject at any time and I'll answer them at the end. So Ciola's saying, Ms. Carol, I've been meaning to ask you, what can you recommend for those of us who have hypoglycemia, aka low blood sugar? When I try these diets, my sugar drops. I'm just wondering, are you taking medication for it at the moment? So while you're answering that, just to say, because you're on a lot of greens and proteins, make sure you're still having things like, you can also have you'll see for the duration of the journey, you're going to have some more fiber foods. You can have coconut milk. You're going to have your different types of sweet fruits and subacid fruits as well. because as we go along the journey, it's just the first few days where we're eating differently, just because we're going to be doing the flush, which would have been today. I'm just giving an example of the foods that you need to stimulate the liver. Today would have been the liver flush. Tomorrow would be the prepping before the colon cleanse. And then thereafter, you're going to find that the foods change. So you can implement those foods, you know, that aren't going to drop your sugar levels, because there's going to, it expands as to what we'll be having along the journey. And also you can, you know, tweak it as well. Have a look at the list of foods, and then obviously you'll see in the day 5, 6, 4 onwards, the type of foods that's going to help you to keep your blood sugar up, because you've got the list of foods there. And also, you know, just make sure that if you find, you know, if you feel that's going to happen, go back to the list, implement those foods that you need for yourself to keep, you know, your blood sugar from dropping. I hope that helps. Okay, so you're not taking no medication. I hope that helps. If you go back to the grocery list, take a look there, and of course, you know, you've got to be creative in terms of what you know that your body is going to need. Everybody else is going to need other things. This is the way I eat on the detox program, but don't forget you've got a whole list of foods there. Now, even though we're having high glutathione foods in day 1 and 2, and then you know what we've got coming in day 3, implement some other foods from the grocery list to buffer that so you're not getting low, okay? We want you to be safe, so you make sure that you can pick from the grocery list. I've just mentioned the high glutathione foods because we need to have more of those than the others that are in that grocery list. And I've concentrated at those foods as the main ingredients in the foods that I've implemented today, just so you can get a good idea of how much of it you can put in your diet for the next, you know, few days, day 1 and 2 for the liver cleanse, and you can pick a few items from the main grocery list to add in there, as long as you're having mainly your high glutathione foods. So, for instance, I've made a lemon and herb dressing, okay, which you will have had the recipe for by now, and also I've made a mayo today, you know, to go with that cabbage slaw. So that's an additional thing that I've put in there. So, you know, you be experimental, be wise about what you need to choose to implement, but make sure you're having those main foods as your main food sources, and introduce those foods in. That's not going to, obviously, that's going to keep your blood from going too low. So I hope that helps. And if you still need further help, obviously, let me know. But have a look. If you feel there's some more questions you have, come back to me and I'll be happy to answer them. Hi Val, thank you very much for joining us as well. Val's going to be doing she's just joined the detox program, which is great. Glad to have you on board, Val. Val's one of our actual members on natural workshops. So you missed the beginning. Where can I get a good quality hibiscus tea? Good question. You can actually get it online from a company called Hatton Hill. You might have heard of Hatton Hill. They do a lot of organics as well. Failing that, where you can go to, but then I know you live outside of London. It's not the same, is it? We had this conversation in our consultation, but you can get it online, Val. I get mine from a local Lebanese store But you can definitely find it on Google. You've got some good, well-known natural brands that have it. Like I think you may even find it on Baldwin and Co. online, and also another store called Star Child. They've got quite a, yes, Star Child, Baldwin and Co. and Hatton Hill. I know definitely have it anyway. So try those places. If you get stuck, come back to me and I'll give you some more links. But even if you go on Google and go into Amazon, you'll see the natural shops that do the hibiscus online where you can get it. So if that's all for now, if anybody else has any more, you're welcome, Valerie. If anybody has any more questions, you know, always interject. I'll answer them at the end, and I'll wrap that up for tonight. But please join me tomorrow, where I'm going to show you, and tomorrow's very, very different, where I'll be able to show you the full range of foods that I'll be consuming that you can get an idea to implement for yourself. Thank you very much for joining me this evening. Take care. See you tomorrow.